So, we are back with another part of Turnabout Tomorrow YouTube. Made a small mistake last time. Not gonna say what it was. Anyways, I shall save here in case I make the same mistake and have to record this again. After Mr. Groud's escape from the asylum, the city was put into lockdown, as I'm sure you know. In search of the fugitive, police were taking tips. One in particular interested me. It stated that Mr. Groud was hiding somewhere in the Power's employment offices. I went there immediately and conducted my investigation. While I was inspecting an office on a lower floor, we heard a gunshot. Where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? God dang mouse, stop moving. The source came from an office just right above us. Following it, we saw a sight you're familiar with by now. The defendant with a pistol in her hand and a shattered window. Okay, good. This seems to strongly support the facts. I'm not so sure, Your Honor. Something's off about this testimony. Masterson is extremely methodical. There's no way he would leave out so many details. In other words, either he's leaving out things I could put into question for Dawn's sake, or he's giving me more points to strike at. My apologies, Cross. I seem to have made a fatal slip-up. I apologize. Apology accepted? Is he actually telling me he made a flaw in that testimony? Oh, then, Mr. Moriarty, please commence your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Well, anyways. And then on to the cross-examination. After blah blah blah, press. Hold it! You're looking for him, I assume. Well, no, Cross. A dangerous serial killer escapes and they put the city into lockdown, so that a shipment of donuts doesn't leave the city. What do you think? Please calm yourself, Miss Dawes. Cross's question was completely unnecessary, but that's no reason to lose your composure. She's been acting like this through the entire trial, and now you bring it up? I guess you just enjoyed seeing me make a butt of myself that much, huh? But yes, we put the city on lockdown so that Mr. Gord couldn't leave the city. Naturally, there was a danger of there being another victim, so we started an investigation. The whole police department was involved, I believe. Yes, Your Honor. We weren't short of manpower, I can promise you that. But it was sort of useless in the end, when you think about it. What was the nature of your investigation? Well, we interviewed and kept watch on all his friends and family. Other patients see if he confided in them. Search the places he would most likely visit. Aside from that, well... Hold it! Tips? You mean like, anonymous notes or something like that? I don't know about this, but asking never really hurts. Why do you waste time by asking questions you already know the answer to, Cross? Well, I suppose it makes sense if you were buying it. Just answer the question, please. Yes, that's what I mean by tips. Of course, in this case, it wasn't a note, but a phone call. Phone call? Yes, Your Honor. Anonymous, I assume. Yes, sadly. Due to the fact that it was so short, we weren't able to pinpoint where the call was made. I see. What was the tip? It stated that Mr. Groud was hiding somewhere in the blah blah blah, and press it again. What did the caller exactly say? Specifically, I mean. I'm afraid I'll have to quote one of the officers that took the call, considering I wasn't in the department to hear it at the time. Richard Groud is hiding in the Powers Employment offices. And what was it that caught your eye in that message that you decided to investigate it? Several things. One, the caller had appeared to have been using a voice modulator. Voice modulator? The heck? Secondly, the specific nature of the message. Up to that point, the tips we were receiving weren't detailed enough. Just saying he was in an area or district. Which did not help us one bit, especially since they were contradicting themselves. In other words, nothing but wild goose chases. Something like that. That anonymous tip, however, seemed to be worth investigating. So, what did you do once you got the tip? And then that. So, what exactly did you do after you got the call? What did I do? Well, I believe you should know that already, Cross. I should? Well, I seem to remember giving you a call saying I would be late for our appointment. Appointment? Irrelevant, Your Honor. You know what I meant, Masterson. I seem to recall you asking what I did after I got the tip. Besides, really? You're going to screw me on a trial? Which one was irresponsible again? Fine. What did you do when you got to the office? And please stick to the investigation part when describing it, please. Oh, your sense of humor is really disappointing, Cross. Not a good time for that. Besides, you're not the one quite worthy of accusing me of not having a sense of humor. Just answer the question, Mr. Masterson, and please refrain yourself from bringing irrelevant points to the trial. Understood, Your Honor. Besides, for all his efficiency and skill, as not to mention age, Masterson can get so childish at times. Almost like he's a completely different person. But, then again, well, my investigation mostly consisted of two phases, if you will. Phase 1 was investigating the staff, was interrogating the staff, guards, and other people. As in, you were trying to see if anybody spotted him? Yes. My logic was simple. If the caller was able to see Mr. Groud somewhere around the building, then someone else did too. And how did that work out? Didn't we have this conversation earlier? Not as successfully as I'd hoped it to be. Not a single person saw Richard Groud in or even near the building. How he got in is a complete mystery. I see. And Phase 2? Phase 2 was somewhat more tedious. The office search. The office search. The building itself has over 9 floors, and each floor contains about a dozen offices, perhaps a little bit more. That seems like a lot of work to be done for just one single tip. I'd simply give up after Phase 1. I mean, if nobody actually saw him enter an office, then why even bother searching them? Plus, if you think about it, if he was searching an office to hide in, there's no way he would come across an empty one on his first try. Supporting the theory he was meeting with someone who already knew the office was empty. Thanks to that cell phone, though, it's looking like Yalt was that someone. Even though the prosecution suggests he called her there, I would just be wasting my time if I actually pointed it out. For example, let's say I did that. I've got nothing to support it. I don't remember what that last part was. Happened the other way. It didn't happen the other way around. Because the text message never states who called who. Why didn't that girl just throw the dang phone away? Yes, I suppose that would have been the easiest thing to do. But I had my reasons for not dismissing it so easily. And those were... Do I have to remind you that Mr. Grout was able to escape from a mental asylum completely undetected? True, now that he brings it up. How did he do it, anyway? I honestly doubt that someone like Richard Grout could be a ninja of some sort. She has a point there. I see. So you're saying that he was somehow able to bypass all the witnesses and get to an office? That was my line of reasoning, yes. Now that I think about it, there's something I should have probably asked earlier. Well, where's the gunshot in all that? Well... Hold it! I'm going to have to be careful here. Which office were you inspecting exactly? I actually find that quite an interesting coincidence, looking back on it. It was the office right below the crime scene. Really? That's quite a coincidence. I can't help but agree. And the office number? Number? Well... You don't remember, do you? I'm afraid not. Sorry, Cross. Let's sigh. Never mind. Not that it was important anyway, I guess. Besides, I guess I'm the one that should have known that. After all, I'm the one that picked the office. I imagine that it's not hard to deduce, considering that it's right below the crime scene office. Right, so it would be... Anyway, you didn't find anything in that office, did you? I already know which office it is, but I won't say so because YouTube, it's spoilers. No, sadly I didn't. But it did lead you to the crime scene for better or for worse. Very well, you may continue with your testimony, Mr. Masterson. Yeesh. All this talking making me yawn. Yes, Your Honor. Alright. This... I really feel like not talking with all this right now. With these. I'll take a little break from my voice acting for now. And I'll let you read it. Or if you're deaf, of course, sorry. need to get something to drink after I finish this one.
A hobo. I wonder who it is. I wonder who the hobo is if you've seen the frickin' main series of Ace Attorney. At least the first 4. Yay.
Also,
And a car. Yeah.
a playing card with holding.
I already know what it was used for, which will be brought up later on. And yay, evidence!
Yeah. There we go.
There we go. Finally. Just a second, Mr. Masterson. I actually have a question regarding what you said. Dang, Masterson. She noticed. Let me repeat what you said. While I was inspecting an office on a lower floor, we heard a gunshot. You see, had you not said anything on a certain point, I would have just let this slide, but earlier you said that you didn't want to waste any manpower. Hence, you went alone. And yet, the way you said that just now, it sounds like you were with someone. He's her witness. I don't see how that's relevant, Your Honor. Please answer the question, Mr. Masterson. No surprise there. Very well. Yes, I happened to bump into a friend while searching the building. He offered to assist. I saw no reason to refuse his help. This friend of yours. He's a witness, I assume. Not quite, Your Honor. While he is a part of this trial, he's not a witness. What do you mean? Yes, about that, Your Honor. That person is... me. You? Well, I'd say this makes yet another item on the list of Mr. Moriarty's brilliant defense. Har har. Mr. Moriarty, why was this court not informed of this? Well, you see, Your Honor, I knew this would happen. Even though there isn't really a law preventing defendants from being defended by witnesses, it tends to damage both credibility of the case and the let's just say that in bigger cases, the press is sort of clingy. Wouldn't be the first time it happened. Will this be a problem, Your Honor? You should be a witness to this trial, Mr. Moriarty. No, I shouldn't. I know, Your Honor. You are not making this day easy on me, Miss Moriarty. You're not exactly the one to talk. Miss Daunt, what do you think? I have no problem with it. There isn't a law that states a witness can't represent the defendant of the case, correct? Besides, Miss Moriarty's testimony is not of much use to me. You knew? Of course. After all, one look at this list will easily see Mr. Moriarty's name on it. Or, his little nickname. Besides, I personally oversaw all interviews with all the witnesses, and Mr. Moriarty wasn't exactly hard to miss. Was that a pickup line or something? Probably not, considering the little fact I discovered a few moments ago. Jesus, my elbow. God dang. Why do I always bump my elbows or an elbow or a knee on something every few months? Jeez. Ow. I see. Very well then, Mr. Moriarty. We shall continue this process in light of these new facts. Thank you, Your Honor. You have my thanks, Your Honor. What the? You didn't even say anything in my defense. Ay. And here we are. It's the end of part 1. Things are progressing smoothly at the moment. It doesn't look like any of them suspect anything. Then again, the fact that this trial is still going should be a testament to that. Heh. I'm actually surprised nobody even noticed it so far. Oh well, what they don't know won't hurt them, eh? Still, that doesn't mean I can relax. The trial itself is far from over. Even at this point, I've made a couple of miscalculations. The card, for one, is something that they were supposed to know about. Even at a later point, I considered it as a worst-case scenario. No. It doesn't matter. I've made precautions. No matter what happens, I've carefully prepared myself for each possible outcome. It doesn't matter if they figure it out. They'll never be able to prove it. Heh. So, this is what it feels like. My final little masterpiece, if you will. One last battle of wits. I feel proud, I must say. Even though it wasn't my intention, this little puzzle feels like a fitting legacy. Almost like my own child. Heh. Yes. A child indeed. I suppose this is like watching the first steps, eh? Now then, I believe this stage has been set quite nicely now. All that remains is for the actors to play their roles, so please. The spotlight is all yours, Cross. I see. It sort of feels like I've been going around in circles all this time. It's impossible I'll be able to do anything if I just keep revolving around Masterson's point of view. I've listened to all their facts. Now it's time to hear them from someone else. You look like you want to share something with us, Mr. Moriarty. Whatever is on your mind. Should have known you would pop in eventually. Your Honor. This might be a little dangerous, but if I play it right, there shouldn't be any problems. I hope, anyway. The defense has heard enough. You are concluding your cross-examination? Yes, Your Honor. Oh, does that mean you found no problems in his testimony? Sorry, but the same song and dance won't slide now.
Besides, you and I both know that this trial is far from over. Or at least I do. Correct, I found no problems whatsoever. However, there is something else I had a problem with. You see, while I agree with that the detective here has stated all of his facts and that most of what he said supported the evidence, however, you have to take into account one major thing in these testimonies. None of them give us an objective view on what exactly happened. Not objective? Do you not consider the testimony of a senior detective not objective? You really need to start learning how to wait for me to finish. I'd say it's getting quite rude of you. Now then, as I was saying, Masterson has given us the following. In his first testimony, he stated the general outline of the crime. In his second testimony, he went on into detail on his own point of view. What's your point, Mr. Moriarty? I wasn't lying when I said I don't have a problem with what's in Mr. Masterson's testimonies. I have a problem with what isn't in them. We are here on trial of Christine Yacht. She's here on a charge of murder. And yet, even with Masterson's testimony just now, we still haven't actually confirmed that it was her that shot the victim. Through witnesses, at least. I see. Even though we have strong physical evidence putting Miss Yacht in that room, even though she has opportunity and the means, you still wish confirmation of the other witnesses? I'm glad you saw what I was getting at. Without their actual testimony, your case doesn't exactly hold water. What are you talking about? We have just given you a signed witness statement that clears up all doubts. What more confirmation do you exactly need? No matter what you do, that's a fact. That was a perhaps wrong choice of words. After all, I can think of at least 2 people in this courtroom who can disagree. Actually, that's wrong. Without hearing the testimony, you're presenting me with everything but facts. What do you mean? Allow me to explain then. I'm going to present a hypothetical argument on what could have happened. Considering the facts you've given me, of course. First off, let me sum up what the premier witnesses have testified so far. We only saw Miss Yacht enter the room, and we did not see the crowd enter the room. Is that about right? Yes, your point being. I must say I'm borderline shocked none of them actually brought it up. Honestly, for shame, Cross. This is going to be a bit of a long shot, I guess. Let's go back to Masterson's testimony for a bit. Specifically, his arrival at the crime scene. He said that he saw a man entering the office, correct?
Objection!
If you are trying to suggest that, let me finish it, please. Because I'm not finished. You see, there's something else I want to point out. Namely, the fact that he was the only witness around at the time. So here's what I'm thinking at the moment, without your witnesses. Miss Yacht is seen entering at one point during time. At that point, due to the lack of witness testimony, I can assume that the office wasn't supervised at all times. At one point, the killer enters and kills Mr. Grant himself. Now exactly would he have left after that? Simple. He simply walked out the door. After all, remember, nobody was supervising the office. That is the most childish argument I have ever seen. True, but the only way you can disprove that childish argument is... You can't seriously be considered this man's argument, Your Honor. Funny how I was saying that just a few minutes ago. More like an hour ago. No, more like half an hour ago. It's nice when the tables turn, isn't it? I have no choice, do I? Well, hey, if I remember correctly, I believe you promised you would call out every witness and present every piece of evidence to show my client's guilt. Indeed. I guess you really aren't giving up, are you? Why would I? I've just taken the lead. You can dream of that as much as you want. I can destroy your little theory in a matter of seconds. You claim that the door wasn't supervised during the whole time of the crime. Yes, yes I do. No. I claim otherwise. You wish witnesses? I'll give you 2 foolproof testimonies. Let's see just how shallow your grave really is. Well, I suppose this will be an early Christmas morning for you, Cross. Yeah! That's perfectly fine by me. I see. I will have to admit, Mr. Moriarty's suggestion has piqued my interest. That's as far as it will go, sadly. Heh. In any case, I have to prepare some things. There's always a chance that will end up happening after all. With this, I end Mr. Masterson's cross-examination. Good luck, Cross. Luck isn't exactly playing a major role in this, Masterson. Wait, what am I saying? The fact that I've just saved this trial just now proves the opposite. Yeah! I doubt luck will have much to do with this. The prosecution will then call its second witness. The prosecution calls Victor Eisenhower to the stand. And that is when I shot. Well, that is where I'm going to end the video. I'll see you in the next video, YouTube. Goodbye.